For my Lady Volunteers, okay, for my Tennessee Volunteers fans, should we be concerned? Because the Lady Volunteers, the Vols just got defeated and destroyed, guys, by the UCLA Bruins in tonight's game. Okay, the game concluded with the UCLA Bruins on top. They scored 99 points compared to the Lady Vols just 77 points. The third quarter was the Volunteers' worst quarter. But in the first half of this game, I say in both the first quarter and the second quarter, we saw the Volunteers. They were for the most part able to keep up with the Bruins, okay? But the Bruins, I'm gonna just say like this. I don't know what it is. It's like ever since Rakia Jackson left, Sanaya, the other Sanaya, not Sanaya Rivers. What's the other Sanaya's name? I'm not sure. It's some women that had left the Lady Volunteers last season, be it the WNBA, they just hit the transfer portal. This is not the same team. Okay, again, I believe they're the first twin duo to take on and be a part of the Lady Volunteers basketball team. I know it's Mia and Maya Paldo. I know the last name is Paldo. Again, I'm sorry. They're literally twins. They literally look smack alike. I'm gonna just call them the Paldo sisters. Okay, it may have been Mia. It may have been Maya. Okay, no tea, no shade. Again, they're the same person, literally genetically. Okay, they are twin sisters. But in tonight's game, they were simply undersized. The Lady Volunteers, all in all, overall in tonight's game, even though Janiah Barker, shout out to her, she's 6'4", the Lady Volunteers were undersized. That's why they lost. Now, that wasn't the only reason why they lost, of course. And I really was rooting for the Volunteers to defeat the UCLA Bruins. I'm not a huge fan of the Bruins. I like some of the players such as Lauren Betts, Kiki Palmer, Kiki Rice. But also, it's like this. Janiah Barker used to play for the UCLA Bruins just last season. For whatever reason or reasons, I'm not sure why, she decided to hit the transfer portal, leave, and join the Lady Volunteers. And you can tell like she wanted this win tonight. She was, she had some like a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. It was kind of a physical match of Janiah Barker going up with her former teammates and team being the UCLA Bruins. And she tried the best she could, guys, because again, in tonight's game, for the Tennessee Lady Volunteers, Janiah Barker was the leading scorer. She scored the most points. She had 25 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds, with 27 minutes of play. In 27 minutes of play, she put up 25 points. But here's the problem with that. Now I ain't gonna say like the talent is not evenly distributed, okay, on the Volunteers, but in tonight's game that's kind of what it is, because when I look at the UCLA stats overall, all the players, at least let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 players had double-digit points. Now for the Lady Volunteers, also 4 players had more than double-digit points, but it was way less. It was like 10 points compared to the UCLA Bruins. They put up 22 points. You see what I'm saying? And here's the problem with that. In tonight's game, offensively and defensively, they were lackluster. Now, I'm going to start with defense first, okay? Defensively in tonight's game, the freaking Volunteers, for whatever reason, they allowed the Bruins to have whatever they wanted. I understand, it was some fouls called on Janiah. I believe by the third quarter, she only had like 2 fouls on her, as well as some other volunteer ladies. But at the same time, it's a problem when y'all allow the lane to be so wide open that you just allow Kiki Rice to just jump in and do what she wants. Hawkheads can just drive through the lane, get whatever she wants, just make up a layup with no disruption from y'all end. So we just gonna just lay back and be so afraid of being in foul trouble, get caught with a left hook, a right hook, that we just allow them to do whatever they want offensively. That's what it was given in tonight's game. Because if Gianna Neepkins wanted to drive to the basket and make up a layup, she could with no problem. It was very little disruption or contest. We weren't contesting any of the layups that were made in the paint for the UCLA Bruins. Now us on the other side, when we tried to oh my God, it was ridiculous. Anytime we saw the Lady Volunteers try to actually drive through the lane, go in the paint, and put up a layup, not even just layups, even the mid-range spot, from a mid-range jump shot. Anytime we saw the Volunteers in tonight's game try to go anywhere near the paint, inside the line, the perimeter, oh my goodness, the UCLA Bruins would swarm us in tonight's game. See, that was the difference between the offense and the defense, but mainly the defense in tonight's game. And then offensively, it was many times where we had good looks, we had good opportunities and shots, but they weren't falling. Specifically, I will say both 3-point shots and also the mid-range game and also our layups. They were not going in the basket. Janiah Barker, shout out to her. She was putting out, again, she was playing like she had a chip on her shoulder, like she had something to prove to her former team and teammates, her former coach and coaches, the whole organization as the UCLA Bruins, because she was putting up so many 3-pointers to the point it didn't make no sense. In the first quarter, the Volunteers had 21 points. The Bruins scored 26. The second quarter, the Volunteers had 18 points. The Bruins scored 23. The third quarter, the Volunteers put up 17 points. The Bruins scored 27. We lacked 10 points behind the third quarter. That was our worst quarter. But in the fourth and final quarter, the Volunteers put up 21 points. The Bruins scored 23. For the individual player statistics, okay, let's start with the losers first, okay? The Lady Volunteers. Janiah Barker, again, she had 25 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds. Lazaria Spearman had 10 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Kaniah Boyd had 3 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Nia Robertson had 12 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Talasia Cooper, she had 11 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Alyssa Latham had 4 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Denia Prawl had 6 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Jada Civil had 3 points, 0 assists, 6 rebounds. And Mia Paldo had 3 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. She was just too small. Now for the UCLA Bruins, Lauren Betts had 7 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Gabriella Hawkes had 29 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. She was the leading scorer in tonight's games. Hawkes is literally a beast, okay? Charlize Leger-Walker had 7 points, 11 assists, 2 rebounds. Kiki Rice had a double-double. She had 22 points, 2 assists, 11 rebounds. Gianna Neepkins had 19 points, 3 assists, 0 rebounds. Angela Dukalik had 12 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. And Lena Billick had 3 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds. Now let's view some of the overall team stats, because I know this ain't gonna make no sense. Now when it comes to field goals made, okay, just field goals. The Volunteers were 29 for 71, or 40.8% field goal percentage, whereas the Bruins was 38 for 65, or 58.5% field goal percentage. Now, when it comes to three-pointers made, okay, it was real bad. Tennessee, the Volunteers was 11 for 30, or 36.7% three-point percentage, whereas the Bruins were 10 for 17 at 58.8% three-point percentage. Now, when it comes to total rebounds, the Tennessee Volunteers only had 27. The Bruins had 31. Assists, the Tennessee Volunteers had 18 assists. The Bruins had 27. The Vols had 3 blocks. Bruins had 5. Vols had 5 steals. The Bruins had 13. The Vols had 19 turnovers. The Bruins had 12. Points made in the paint. Of course, the Tennessee Volunteers only had 32 points made in the paint compared to 48 points made in the paint by the Bruins. This is officially Tennessee Volunteers' second loss. Remember that their very first game to kick off the season, they lost their first game. The Bruins just lost on Wednesday to Texas. And then the very next day, Texas beat freaking South Carolina. Okay, the Bruins is probably, still feeling some type of way from that loss. But again, they are ranked a little bit, well, not even a little bit, they are ranked higher than Tennessee. Tennessee is now ranked number 14. They're probably going to fall even more. Whereas the UCLA Bruins are ranked number 3rd in the country. I was really rooting for Tennessee, but they gotta figure it out. They gotta make some adjustments. They gotta make some changes. The Paldo sisters, the twin sisters, are small. They're only 5'6" and undersized. They were getting the ball swatted from them. It was just a bad look. The UCLA Bruins, dubs in the chat.